Video script. The Disciplined Trader Review Part 1, Introduction. Why do most traders fail? It's not because they lack knowledge. It's not because they don't have a strategy. It's because they can't control themselves. Welcome to Tradebook Hub, where we break down powerful trading books to help you upgrade your mindset, sharpen your edge, and survive in one of the toughest games out there, trading. Today, we're diving into a classic, a book that's been shaking traders awake since 1990. The Disciplined Trader by Mark Douglas. This book laid the foundation for a radical idea back then, that psychology, not strategy, is what separates winning traders from the rest. So if you've ever hesitated to enter a trade you knew was right, held on to a loser just because you didn't want to admit you were wrong, or blown up an account just days after being in the green, then give me 20 minutes. Because what you're about to hear might just be the first brick in building a whole new mindset, one that could change the way you trade forever. Part 2. About the author and book context. Mark Douglas wasn't born a trading coach. He didn't write this book from a distance. He lived it and lost everything before he discovered what really matters. Back in 1982, Mark was living in a luxury high-rise in Chicago, driving a Porsche, and working as an account executive at Merrill Lynch. Within a few months, he lost it all. His house, his car, his credit, his confidence. But that collapse became the turning point. Instead of blaming the market like most traders do, Mark turned inward. He asked himself a brutal question. Why do I keep making the same mistakes, even when I know exactly what I'm supposed to do? And The Disciplined Trader was born from that journey. When it was first published in 1990, almost no one was seriously talking about trading psychology. This book was a breakthrough, the first to say out loud what so many traders felt deep inside. To win in the market, you first have to win in your own mind. Years later, Mark Douglas would go on to write Trading in the Zone, another classic. But The Disciplined Trader was the origin. This is the book where he shares his full breakdown, and how he rebuilt his trading mindset from the ground up, like a true professional. Part 3.1. Trading is a mental game, not a system. One of the most common questions traders ask is, what's the best system to trade? And Mark Douglas responds with brutal honesty. No system will make you successful unless you master your emotions. A system is just a framework, but the person running that system brings fear, greed, hesitation, doubt, overconfidence, and a desperate need to be right. In The Disciplined Trader, Mark shares that even when he had a solid strategy, clear entry, stop-loss, exit rules, he still couldn't follow it. Why? Because he couldn't accept taking a loss. Because he needed to be right. Because he feared losing money. Because he held on to losing trades hoping they'd turn around. None of these problems are about the system. They're about what's happening inside you. Mark makes it clear. The consistent winners approach trading not from the perspective of a system, but from the perspective of mastering themselves. They don't trade to prove themselves. They trade to execute, with discipline, even when it hurts. And that's the difference between a consistent trader and someone constantly tweaking indicators, hoping to find the magic fix. Have you ever known exactly what to do and still couldn't press the button? That's not a system failure. That's a lack of mental training. Mark Douglas says it straight. Trading is a mental game. It's not about being the smartest or having the fanciest setup. It's about who can control themselves when it counts, even with the simplest of strategies. Because the trader who loses control will find a way to lose, no matter how powerful the system. Part 3.2. The need to be right is the trader's enemy. Mark Douglas says there's a deep emotional need that most traders never recognize, the need to be right. And that, right there, is the number one enemy of your trading mindset. Every time you place a trade, consciously or not, you're making a statement, I'm right. The market will move in my favor. So when the market moves against you, it doesn't just threaten your money, it threatens your ego. You don't want to be wrong, because if you're wrong, you feel weak. Maybe you're not cut out for this. That smart, independent, confident trader identity starts to fall apart. And because you don't want to be wrong, you hold losing trades, refuse to cut your losses, tell yourself, it'll come back, just give it time. But here's the truth. The market doesn't care whether you're right or wrong. It moves on its own terms. That's why Mark asks, do you want to be right or do you want to make money? Professional traders choose profits. Amateur traders choose being right. That need to be right? It's what leads you to break your rules, take revenge trades, blow up accounts just to protect your pride. Ask yourself honestly, how many times have you held a losing position just to avoid admitting you were wrong? How many times have you doubled down on a loser to prove yourself right? That's not trading for profit. That's trading to defend your ego. And in the markets, ego protection comes with a high price tag. Part 3.3. The market is neutral. You're the one who's wrong. Ever feel like the market is out to get you? Like the moment you exit a trade, it reverses. You enter a setup, and boom, it moves the other way. You get frustrated, you curse the market. You say, this market is rigged, it hates me. But Mark Douglas offers a powerful wake-up call. The market doesn't know you exist. It doesn't care. It's not out to get you. The market isn't personal. It has no feelings. It's not messing with you. It's not seeking revenge. All it does is reflect the collective behavior and beliefs of millions of participants at any given moment. And when you start labeling the market as unfair, dangerous, or manipulated, you've stopped seeing clearly. You're no longer objective. Mark argues that the truly successful trader must become an observer, a neutral witness to market movement. No expectations, no judgments, no emotional attachments. The only thing you can control is your own response, the rules you've defined, and your ability to execute those rules with discipline. Meanwhile, the market will just do what it does. The problem is not the market. The problem is us. When we refuse to accept uncertainty as the market's natural state. And this is the trader's transformation, from trying to predict the market to learning how to flow with it. Part 3.4. Traditional thinking doesn't work in trading. From the time we're young, we're taught, work hard and you'll succeed. Study well and you'll get good results. The more effort you put in, the more reward you get. But when you step into trading, those beliefs collapse. You can be incredibly smart and still lose. You can work 12 hours a day and still not make a dime. The harder you try to control the market, the more it shows you just how little control you have. This is the uncomfortable truth Mark Douglas forces us to confront. Trading is unlike anything you've ever been taught. In life, mistakes are punished. You lose points. You get judged. In trading, mistakes are normal because it's a game of probabilities. In society, control gives you safety. In trading, the need for control makes you vulnerable. And Mark says this clearly. A professional trader is someone who has unlearned the rules of traditional thinking. They don't try to win every trade. They don't take it personally when the market moves against them. They treat trading as a craft, not a performance. And this shift doesn't come from reading another indicator guide. It comes from reprogramming your entire mental framework. As Mark puts it, you have to reprogram yourself to think probabilistically. That's the trader's edge. Part 3.5. The 3 core skills every trader must build. Mark Douglas came to one powerful conclusion. Trading isn't about prediction. It's about self-mastery through 3 essential skills. If you want to survive and thrive in the markets, you need to develop these. 1. Perception. See the market with a neutral eye. You must learn to spot opportunity without attaching emotion to it. A setup is not a guarantee. It's just a probability with a slight edge. Great traders don't see hope. They see signals. 2. Execution. Act without hesitation. You must enter, exit, and manage trades as planned. No second guessing. No delay. No maybe just one more minute. This is where 90% of traders fail, not in knowing, but in doing. Mark calls it emotional execution, and if you can't manage it, you'll sabotage even the best system. Number 3. Accumulation. Keep profits without destroying them. Many traders can win 10 trades in a row and then lose everything on the 11th, not because their system broke, but because success made them reckless. Keeping profits requires patience, calm, and the ability to stay disciplined even when markets get boring or tough. As Mark says, the truly consistent trader has mastered the art of doing nothing when nothing should be done. These 3 skills aren't taught in school. You build them through experience, losses, and brutal honesty with yourself. And that's why The Disciplined Trader is more than a book. It's a mental journal, one you come back to every time you feel yourself slipping. Part 4. Tradebook Hub's Reflections. what we learned and lived. What made the disciplined trader truly life-changing for us at Tradebook Hub wasn't the theory. It was the brutal, honest mirror it held up, showing us exactly who we were as traders. There was a time when we had a written trading plan, a solid system, and clear risk rules. And still, the results were negative. Not because we didn't know, but because we couldn't do what we knew. We entered trades late out of fear. We held losers out of hope. We doubled down just to get it back. And then, we read this line from Mark Douglas. You don't trade the markets. You trade your beliefs about the market. That line hit like lightning. Trading isn't about reacting to charts. It's about wrestling with the beliefs inside your own head. Since then, we've been on a journey of unlearning, stripping away old thought patterns, letting go of fear, surrendering the need to control everything. And the more we let go of ego, the better our results became. The disciplined trader didn't just help us trade better. It helped us become more self-aware, more patient, more present. It taught us when to act, when to wait, and most importantly, how to remain centered in a world that thrives on chaos. Part 5. Final summary and call to action. Trading is a lonely game, but you're not alone in what you're feeling. If you've ever asked yourself, why do I keep making the same mistakes? Why do I know what to do but still fail to do it? Why can't I hold on to my profits for long? Then the disciplined trader might be the most honest mirror you'll ever hold up to your trading self. This book won't promise you fast money, but it will show you how to think like a real trader, one who can survive, adapt, and grow. Because only when your mind is aligned can your results follow. You'll find the link to the book in the description below. It's the original English edition we personally read, reflected on, and applied throughout our own journey. If this video helped you shift even just one belief, hit like, subscribe, and share it with another trader who needs to hear this. And don't forget, in our next video, we'll review Trading in the Zone, the book that turned Mark Douglas into a trading legend. This is Tradebook Hub, where we help you read less, but learn deeper and trade smarter. See you in the next one.